here it means in great transcendental pleasure.
Sorry?
In great transcendental pleasure.
Oh wow, amazing.
It works like
Je sais pas
this.
comment ça se prononce, hein, M-U-D-A avec une barre sur le A. Voilà, in great transcendental pleasure. Il y a beaucoup de mots en sanskrit qui veulent dire la même chose. Hein. Atma, ça veut dire le corps, l'âme. C'est peut-être pas la peine de faire de la vidéo là. Ça veut dire le mental. Farcical mobile. Farcical mobile.
This is working. Animal.
Kurvanta,
Guruvanta,
doing that.
doing that.
Ramandana.
Ramandana.
Ramandana, ça veut dire Ramandana Cha en fait. Enjoy life and increase their affection to Krishna.
Enjoy life.
And increase their affection for Krishna. Not. Avidam,
Avidam,
perceived.
perceived.
Bhavavedanam,
Bhavavedanam,
the tribulations of material existence.
the tribulations of material existence.
Translation and purport by Stephen Gray. Asi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In this way, all the coward men headed by Nanda Maharaj enjoyed topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure, and they could not even perceive material tribulations. Can you repeat after me, please?
Okay.
In this way, all the coward men headed by Nanda Maharaj enjoyed topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure. And they could not even perceive material tribulations. Purport and by Srila Prabhupada. Here is an instruction about the result of studying or discussing the Krishna Lila that appear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadyoridi, je vais mettre mes lunettes parce que. Sadyoridi avarudyate tilin kritibi susrubi takshanat. Ah oui, that's first one of the main principle, first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. 112. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda in Vrindavan appeared like ordinary persons in this material world, but they never felt the tribulations of this world. Although they sometimes met many dangerous situations created by the demons. This is a practical example. If we follow the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj and the gopis, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. Anarto pasanam sakshad, bhakti yoga madok sajje, lokasya nato vidvams, chakre adara samhitan. Bhagavatam 176. Vyasadeva has given the literatures so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Gita. Even at the present moment, everyone everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulations by following Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared, Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Ça vient de quel verset ça? Sarvatma.
C'est le premier verset de Shri Krishna.
Oui, c'est ça. Oui, c'est ça. Chetodapanam Arjanam Bhava. By our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be absorbed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be freed from all material tribulations. Je lis le verset d'après parce qu'il n'y a pas de teneur à porter et c'est I read the next verse because there is no purport and it's the end of the chapter. So this verse says, in this way Krishna and Balaram passed their childhood age in Vrajabhumi by engaging in activities of childish play such as playing hide and seek, constructing a make-believe bridge or on the ocean and jumping here and there like monkeys. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 10th canto, 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Childhood Pastimes of Krishna. I read the verse again. In this way, all the coward men, headed by Nanda Maharaj, enjoyed topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure, and they could not even perceive material tribulations. Omagana Timidandasya Gyananjana Sharakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the deepest darkness of ignorance, but with the transcendental torchlight of knowledge, my spiritual master has opened my darkened eyes. I offer him my respectful obeisances. So the point which has been explicit to me that we are transcendental. Our nature, we are beyond this material creation. As Prabhupada says very regularly, we are not this body. And this verse, Makchita Matkata Prana, Bodayantak Parasparam, Katayantas Samam Nitya, Tusyanticha Ramantisha. My pure devotee always engage in my devotional service.
Conversing about me.
Yeah, conversing about me. And I know it in French better, but
the thoughts always dwell
in me. By this, by this they find very, very pleasant. They enjoy very much. Les purs dévots s'engagent toujours en mon service et parlent de moi, s'entretiennent de moi sans fin, et par là trouvent une satisfaction, une joie immense. That's exactly the purport of this verse, that simply by engaging in Krishna Katha, we can be aloof from the tribulations of this material world, which ultimately is a place of misery. This is even devotees like Sadhguru Maharaj used to say that simply by reading the Krishna book, we can be eligible to go back to Godhead. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chamedivyam, evam yuvetitadvata, telvadeham puna janma netimam etisojuna. He who understands the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not have to come back in this material world again. He is promoted to my transcendental kingdom. So simply by understanding the transcendental nature of Krishna's activities and birth, we are eligible to go back to our natural, normal condition as spiritual soul. And now we are encaged in this physical, material body, and we are Mithuna Agara, chained by the Mithuna Agara means sex desire, right? And the chains we are holding us are the desire for sense gratification after all. which is not which is unnatural condition. But by Prabhupada's mercy, all the Prabhupada is mentioning in all the where this movement is propagating Krishna Katha, that everyone can become transcendental to this material world, which is not our place actually. But we are here since time immemorial, it seems. You know, Krishna Buli, who knows the verse?
Krishna Buliya Jiva Vancha.
Not this one. I know Krishna Buli said Jiva Anadi Bair Mukha.
Yeah.
Ateva Maya Tare Dewa Samsara Dukho. Krishna Buli. Because we have forgotten Krishna, Jiva, the Jiva is us. Jib also, Jib means the tongue, no? Jiva. Anyway, in that case it means the soul, the living entity. Krishna Buddhi said, Anadi Bair Mukha. What means Adi?
Me? I don't know.
Adi?
Adi, beginning.
Beginning.
Okay.
And Madhya?
Middle
And Antya?
and
Okay. So, Anadi means there's no beginning. We don't know. We don't know when. It's beyond a historical calculation or prehistorical. We are here since time immemorial, it seems. There's no record, no historical record of our coming here. So it's a long time. Bahir means, what means Bahir?
Outside.
Outside. You know everything. You have a reference about Bahir? You have heard Bahir, the word Bahir? Bahir Nishingo, Hridaya Nishingo. What means Bahir Nishingo and Hridaya Nishingo?
inside.
Huh?
Nothing
Is outside and inside. So Bahir means inside.
Inside.
Huh?
Inside.
No. Hridaya means inside, but Bahir means outside.
Outside.
Bahir Nishingo, Hridaya Nishingo. So Bahir Mukha. What means Mukh? Mukha? Mukh? The face. So since time immemorial, our face, our attention has been directed towards Bahir, the external energy of Krishna, the material world. We are completely, enamored or identified with this material world since time immemorial. But but what is the result? Ateva Maya Tare Dewa Samsara Dukho. Because of our forgetfulness of Krishna and being always enamored or attracted by material, the external energy, Maya is beating on our face, life after life. Ateva Maya Tare Samsara Dukho. Give us pain. That's where we are, And Sanatana Goswami used to say when he met with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is very famous discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, where he say, yeah, you know it. Ke ami, kene amare jare tapatraya, yana jani kemare itere. Who am I? I don't know. I don't know who I am. You know who you are, Mataji? If I ask you.
No.
You don't know? No. Huh?
I didn't know.
Jivira.
Jivira Sarupa. Yeah, we are supposed, but we can see, people are wondering, who am I sometimes, they don't even know. But now I think it's due to the influence of the Sankirtan movement. Yesterday I was seeing, because I'm a scroller, sorry about that, YouTuber or whatever you want. And the man, he was talking about the man and the dog. And he said, he was saying, a man who had abandoned a dog. And they were talking about the story. And they says, these two souls, they were so much connected with each other. Now people are realizing that, and we have also the proof that the soul is not only for human beings, for men. I've heard black people had no soul, they used to say. Or the woman had no soul. What to speak of animals. But that's nothing to do with the scriptures, with the radical of the scriptures. What is this verse? What is that?
Buddhista?
Huh? No. Bhaktaran, no.
Bhaktaran?
No, not this one. The humble sage, which is enlightened with knowledge, sees with unequal vision, Samadarshina, the elephant, the cow, the erudite,
Brahmane Gavi Hastini.
Brahmane Gavi Astini, Sunicheva Papakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. And how it starts? Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavi Astini, Sunicheva Papakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. The humble sage, enlightened with transcendental knowledge, sees with an equal vision the cow, the dog eater, the erudite Brahmana, and the elephant. That's vision of of us who are supposed to have been educated in Krishna consciousness and purified, because it takes purification just to go to see behind the body. Sarvopadi vinir muktam sat paridvena nirmanam rishikesha rishikenas sevanam bhaktir uchyate. By upadis means designation. By the practice of devotional service, this false identification of ourselves, upadis, becomes cleansed, and the senses become purified also. By simple practice of devotional service, we become purified. And that's the whole, Prabhupada explaining the whole misconception or misdirection of the entire human society. This is this bodily concept of life. We can see now this new Mr. Trump, which has been elected as the president of the most advanced country, so-called, in the world. It does not shows any spiritual understanding of life. It just says, us the Americans, we shall conquer the lands. We are the Americans, you know. It doesn't show any spiritual understanding. Of course, he has been blessed, if you know, at that time, when in Prabhupada's time, the first time with Jayananda, who is this devotee, you know, which is considered the first saint in ISKCON. And they were looking for a spot to build the Ratha Yatra cart. You know that? And actually it was Donald Trump who borrowed them the space to make the cart. So maybe he got the reward of being elected as a not temple president, but the president of the state.
Opposite.
Yeah. But we shouldn't be envious. Actually, Prabhupada is explaining we shouldn't be envious of the positions of these people, this Macron or this one or that one, because if they have these positions, it's because they have been doing the pious activity in former lives, which allow them to have this position. You know, because we can see today, you know, as soon as someone is elected, everybody is making fun of him, and you know, giving all type of tribulation, and it's very, very unfortunate. You know, how can they function actually? You know? Prabhupada also says that due to the constitution of the countries, actually those persons which have put on the position of leaders, actually they are nothing more than objects of decoration, because they have no they cannot act actually. They have no power, comment on dit, le pouvoir d'agir, de faire. No, ah ben, je perds mes mots.
No real power.
Executive power. There's no executive power. Before, you know, the kings, they were following the same family in India, and, you know, so what can be done, you know? Things are becoming degraded. The world is going downward, but still we have this hope that this Srimad Bhagavatam will enlighten us, enlighten the entire society, you know, because after all, human life, Prabhupada is always saying the same thing, you know, he's saying, if you just concerned with eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, you are no more than animals. But even that, you know, I remember Sadhguru Maharaj used to tell us a story. He was in Italy at that time, and there was devotees were preaching, you know, men today are no more than cows, asses, dogs, or cats, you know. And there was a man who raised his hand in the crowd. He said, "Mister, I want you to retire, to take back what you have just said, because you've just made an offense to the animal kingdom. Because human beings are behaving worse than animals. So you should correct the offense you made to the animal world, you know." Fact is that, so what is the remedy? I don't want to go too much deep in the dark activities of human society, but so it seems very simple that simply by discussing about the activities of the transcendental activities of Krishna, we can be aloof, like lotus flowers, you know, aloof from this world of misery ultimately. So we have plenty with Prabhupada's books, you know, that Prabhupada mercifully wrote or edited about the pastimes of Krishna, from the, you know, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, going from the first canto to the 10th canto. By studying, it's recommended that if we read the entire Bhagavatam, we become Krishna conscious, fully Krishna conscious. So what do you think, Giri? You have read it. How many times did you read Srimad Bhagavatam entirely? 3-4 times?
Sometimes.
Huh?
Sometimes.
Pardon me? Sometimes. So you are Krishna conscious now?
In the middle.
It's better than nothing.
Sometimes.
Nothing, sometimes. Better than nothing. Yeah. But it is explaining that we should not, because some sahajas, as they know, they just go directly to the amorous pastime of Krishna, kissing and doing all these things. But before, we should, by reading from first canto and second canto, which are the lotus feet of Krishna, and third canto for Krishna of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are his tights, fifth canto, which is belly, sixth canto is chest, 7, 8 canto is arms, 9 canto is throat, and 10 canto is lotus face. We should go, you know, first canto, second canto, and gradually, because otherwise, if we just go directly to the 10th canto, we can becoming very familiar, you know, without having realized the grandeur or the Aishvarya Bhav, the real grandeur of Lord Krishna, which can become very cheap worshippers, you know. But by reading one canto after the other, we can become fondly appreciative of who is Krishna. Of course, Srila Prabhupada, because he had no much time to stay in this planet, he started his mission after the age of 70 and more. So time was short, and it was very important that the book, Krishna book, be edited. So even before having translated the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, he had already translated Krishna book, which is very important. Very important. When Vyasadeva, which is the incarnation of Krishna himself, he had published, or he had written the entire Vedic knowledge, Vedanta Sutra, all the knowledge, but he was morose, wasn't he? He was morose. He was not happy, and Narada Muni came to, as his spiritual master, came to him and asked him, "Why are you so morose? You have written the entire Vedic scriptures, Atharva, Samaveda, Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Samaveda, and Rig, Sama, Atharva, and Samaveda, and Atharva, and Yajur Veda. Huge knowledge. But you are not happy. What happened with you?" So why he was not happy?
Because he did not describe the pastimes of
devotees
of Krishna.
Because he had not described the pastime of Krishna, and even it's quite it's a bit, for us it's a bit amazing. Narottam Das Thakur, whose birthday was yesterday or day before. You know where he's born, the Narottam Das Thakur? Keturi. Have you been there?
No.
I've been many times with the devotees. It's in the Rajshahi district, West Bangladesh. And there you have all the mangoes, best mangoes come. Langra, Himsagar, if you heard about these mangoes. Very, very nice. But this Kali Yuga, I remember I was there. They call it formalin. Formalin is, on dit du formol. Formalin, they keep the dead bodies distant, not decomposed with formalin, You understand? Hein? Tu comprends? Bon. When the soul leaves the body, the tendency of the body is to become decayed. It becomes rotten. It decomposes. Tu comprends ça? But if you inject these chemicals, which is called formalin, it keeps the body fit. Not alive, but the body looks decent. I have an example. I was in Bangladesh, and it was summer, very hot time, and they gave me one tomato. You understand tomato?
No.
No. Okay, forget. So, and they gave you a tomato, and I think 2 months later, I found the tomato same, perfect. I said, it's fantastic, But why was that? Because the tomato was full of chemicals. They have put this formalin to keep it fresh. And there was so much, I heard this, Bengali people, you will tell me if I'm right. There are people, they are very good as family members. They can raise a family very nicely, take charge of the wife, take charge of the brother, sister, of the children, But when it comes to business, there is no law. They will do anything and everything, at the cost of maybe the life of others, And there was a scandal because there was you can use formalin, but at a very low percentage. But the way they use this formalin, it was a very, very high percentage, to the point that it could create a kind of genocide, It can kill thousands of people or destroy the body of the people. So much so that the trucks who were coming from Keturi, Garam, from Rajshahi to Dhaka, all the doors of Dhaka were closed by the police. And if they checked the mango trucks full of mangoes, and if the degree of formalin was too much, they would destroy all the mangoes and put the guys to jail. Anyway, that's to say why we're talking about Kali Yuga. So I was in Keturi myself many times, and it's a wonderful place. But if you have to understand about the mentality of the Bengali people. What do they say? They say, Jodi Sujon Hoy, Tetul Patai Noi. You can translate?
No, no, no.
Jodi, if Jodi Sujon, the good people, you know, the bad people, the good people, Jodi Sujon Hoy, Tetul Patai, what means Tetul? You know, tamarind. Tetul Patai Noi. A tamarind, a leaf of tamarind trees, they are this size. You've seen tamarind trees leaves, very, very small. So they say, Jodi Sujon Hoy, Tetul Patai Noi. Good people, they can stand 9 people on one tamarind tree's leaf. You know? And we can see in the Bengali mentality people, you know, they can, I remember in Keturi, the nights, they were all like sardines, excusez-moi l'expression. They were all stuck to each other like this, you know, because so crowded, you know. They can stand, you know, stand 9 on the leaf of a tamarind tree, you know. I remember it was so crowded, you know. And this place allowed me to make nice prayer to Narottam Das Thakur. There is one I remember, because this is kind of situation, you know. For example, there is one singer, everyone pretends to be something, you know. One pretends to be a doctor, the other one pretends to be a singer. And if you have seen the loudspeaker in India, I don't know now, maybe because you know, they look like this, you know. The sound is so strident, you know, so disturbed. And on top of this, if the guy is singing completely out of tune, and there is another one 20 meters further, which is singing his own song completely out of tune with this, what was, you know, and why I'm saying that? Yeah, so somehow I will say this one first. I was kind of disturbed, you know, and I was saying, what are those people, what are they doing, you know? And I could see the devotees, they looked at me, but they didn't look at me like they were on my side. If they were observing me, but what is this Bideshi? You know Bideshi? What is this Bideshi? What is this problem, you know? So I calmed myself and I chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, you know. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And I realized friendship should be kept intact in spite of so many discrepancies, you know. To be friendship is more valuable, more important than petty difficulties. And it brought me another time where, because you have to be tolerant, you know. For example, I'm sorry to say, but it's okay. There is one toilet, I think, and there is thousands and thousands of people. So everywhere, you know. So in the night it's okay, but in the day, you don't know where to put your nose, you know. And I could pray to Narottam Das Thakur, oh please, Narottam Das Thakur, allow me to be able to tolerate whatever situation this material nature puts me in. To be able to tolerate whatever situation. And this leads actually, ultimately, to be able to tolerate death, you know. Because sometimes, other times also when I was in India, you know, I was in difficult situation, you know, and I had to be tolerant. It was not optional, it was compulsory, you know. Otherwise you throw your head in the wall, you know. Yeah. Tolerance is very important. All this to say what? We're talking about Keturi, about mangoes, about Krishna Katha. Yeah. So,
nowadays it's not so much of a boon to become a king or president or like that. In the past it was like that, but nowadays it's terrible for those.
huh?
It's a curse to
Yeah.
become a president, because it will take 1/6 of the karma of the people.
Yeah.
So everybody is rushing to hell. They will rot in hell for so many years. so many. They enjoy now, but they think they enjoy.
They're not so enjoyable, no?
Not that much because there are so many. They're not qualified. They don't know what to do, what not to do. This culture, they're frustrated. It doesn't go the way they want, and anywhere. But the result will be completely opposite what they think they will be. They will be cursed like anything at the end of their lives.
This Trump is saying he will be able to bring peace to stop the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and he will stop the conflict between Gaza. Will he be able? I don't know.
They will be indirectly responsible for the death of so many people in Africa, in Libya, in all over the world, in Ukraine, of course, because they sent arms. It is said to manufacture our weapons. It's not a good job because you make karma, even if the arms are not being used. Just the fact of being able to build arms, weapons, will send you to hell. So imagine the rest.
It depends if it's on the order of Krishna or not. If it's on the order of Krishna, Prabhupada says Vaishnava, they have no concept of good or bad. After all, everything in this world is bad. But if Prabhupada used to say that if Krishna was enticing, we see in Mahabharata, he was enticing, for example, Arjun to kill Karna, his own brother, from the back. According to the laws of chivalry, or the military laws, when your enemy has lost his weapon, or you should still remain with the same weapons as him. But Arjuna was in a superior position compared to Karna, wasn't he? And Krishna said, shoot him. So it was contrary to the rules of Kshatriyas. And for that, Prabhupada said, he said actually, Arjuna was more advanced than Maharaj Yudhishthira. Because when Maharaj Yudhishthira was asked to say a so-called lie, like Ashvatthama, the elephant is dead, Yudhishthira was saying, how can my reputation, what's about my reputation, what's about my my integrity and my character. But due to that, it says that Maharaj Yudhishthira, his chariot, bam, and he had to see hell for that. So the real highest criteria or standard of morality is to obey what Krishna says. So I cannot even conceive what these people, these leaders, us, what wrong can we do, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But these people have so much power, they can genocide others. What is this terrible king, Leopold II, from Belgium, RD Congo, RD Congo, Republic Democratic of Congo, is responsible for the killing of 10 million black men. See? So, so we should feel little compassion for this. If today they so what is his? I think there is some atonement which is given to these souls, compared to us, for example, They are Krishna because they are prone to commit so many. They have the power to a big power of destruction, which we don't have. If us who were in their position, what would we do? What would you do if you were in position of a king or a ruler? You would close the slaughterhouses. What would you do?
before closing you have to tax, so that slow down. You
Yeah.
cannot get out of a highway like that. You
Yeah.
have to slow down little by little on the right hand side.
High tax on the on the on the
Otherwise,
on the meat. High taxes on the meat. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
the Yudhishthir was also responsible to some extent for
The killing.
the dice game
Oh yeah.
with Draupadi. And furthermore, if we go more in the rules and regulation, what is right, what is bad, you see that the Vovo means Bhishma Dev and Vidura. There are two Mahajans.
Mm.
They take the roles superior to the fact of disrobing Draupadi.
Mm.
They say, the circumstances of the game made them trample the fact that they endorsed the disrobing of Draupadi.
Mm. There were.
He should have now said to Dhritarashtra, "Oh, I cannot defend you. I'm leaving because you don't represent the real Hastinapur."
Mm.
So the Dhritarashtra, he said, no, you made a vow to defend the throne of Hastinapur, so you have to stay there. So he chose, yes, I did this vow, I stay there. But actually, you should have argumenting, I think you don't represent Hastinapur, you're becoming an impious guy, an impious king. How you allow this to happen and you don't stop it? I cannot maintain this war. I have other wars also. I have to protect Dharma. I cannot stay here. I go away.
Yeah, but this is the power of.
He did that, but after it was preached by this Afghan boy
Afghan.
to die, the thrower of the dice.
Ah, this Sakuni? Sakuni, no?
Sakuni.
But that's the power of money.
He changed his mind and he came back.
Sakuni, no? It was. But that's the power.
Majan.
Yeah.
He came back after his seat.
You see the power. You see the power of money, and the power of money because they were maintained by Dhritarashtra.
The power of staying in a position and the power of argumenting on false argument.
Yeah.
Then you forgot
They
ultimately the ultimate religion, and you speak of Dharma also. Duryodhana was speaking of Dharma also. We have the rules for this dice game. You endorse them, but
Yeah, because they were maintained by Duryodhana, they couldn't say anything. They were entangled with by the Duryodhana's money. Money is very.
speaking of Dharma and like nowadays, everybody is speaking of peace, and they are sending money on the arms, on the weapons, and they make money with that.
Mhm.
It becomes opposite. Peace is war. War is peace.
Money is sweeter than honey. What to do? So we have to become Goswami, master of the senses, you know. It is a very glorious situation.
Yeah,
Maharaj, you know.
And stick to the rules that we have to please Krishna. This is the ultimate rule.
Mm.
You have
But
so
that's-
many rules, so many this, don't do this, don't do. But the ultimate rule that should prevail, no other kind of booms or curse or right, what is religion, what is it to satisfy Krishna.
Mm. The master of the sense. Yes. But this also takes quite a great level of consciousness to be conscious, that to be willing to
Yeah, so this
to
game
act
of dice, they enticed everybody, and they could not, even the Mahajan, he could not say that in public.
They gamble his wife, their wife also.
And, big disaster happened, and that the result is that ultimately, at this point, the Vedic civilization was broken. That's the real Kali Yuga. That's really everything started to dismantle at this point. When you trample such a rule to disrobe an imperatrice publicly.
Oh, yeah. But Krishna came again.
More Vedic civilization that was the
But
crash. The crash.
Krishna, I think it's time, huh? But Krishna, he was all then still at the in the situation he provides so much sari. You know the story, of course. And I've heard even the mode of ignorance is somehow auspicious because